finally about that time, isn't it? Time to lock in and take something seriously. And I mean seriously, seriously. While I don't really like the idea of forcing yourself to do something, I'm incorporating a sort of tailor-made monk mode to my life for the next 100 days. The reason for 100 days is that it works out perfectly with my life time-wise. Going on a holiday trip with friends in late April, and I'm looking forward to it, and I want to be in top form for it, both physically and mentally. And on top of that, if you have seen any of my last videos, you know that I've been wanting to treat myself better for quite a while now. And while I made some progress in December, I kind of strayed from the path in Christmas and New Year's by spending a lot of money I didn't have and going on benders that I didn't need to do. And to be honest, I'm actually excited to cut these bad habits out of my life and implement better ones. It's kind of just a test, like an experiment to see whether these small habits really have such a big impact on your brain and your body. So I'm going to go over each one by one, and kind of explain the criteria that I'm going to try to follow. So what's up? This is your boy, Big Old Jimbo, and I'm back here to tell you about this tailor-made monk mode. I don't really know what to call it, but so the criteria are as follows. Sleeping earlier is number one, between 12 to 2 a.m. I know that seems really late, but you got to bear in mind I get home from work at about 10:30 or 11 at night, so I need to give myself a little warm down routine in the evening. So midnight would be the earliest. That would get me up at 8 in the morning. That'd be fantastic. If that strays to 2 to 8 in the morning, I'm not going to be too upset about it. And the next thing is the morning routine. Has to be followed every single day. That would consist of waking up, showering, brushing teeth, going on a walk, meditating, praying or gratuity, and then getting to work on my personal things, like this YouTube channel. The routine will be followed, and I know in theory it kind of sounds like a lot of work to kind of put on your plate immediately, but it doesn't feel that way to me because this is stuff that I genuinely want to do. I want to start working out again, but unfortunately I don't really know if in between all this I'm actually going to have time to go to the gym, because I still work 6 days a week at my regular job. But on my one day off, I will make sure I get to the gym every single week. I do have weights at home, so I am going to be working out, don't get me wrong. It's just not going to be gym workouts, just dumbbell workouts and free weights and that sort of thing. So after doing this for about a week or two, then I can kind of adjust and see how much free time I still have left. If I do have time for the gym, if I get all this stuff done much sooner than I expected, then I absolutely will go to the gym. The issue is, in my experience at least, planning too far ahead usually ends up being kind of detrimental. I feel like with stuff like this, you kind of need to just get started and then see what your body is like signaling you to do, right? That's not the end of it though. I think the biggest criteria, the hardest one for me, is going to be this next one. Deleting all social media from the phone. No more Instagram, no more Reddit, no more, you know what I mean, like gooning. The only one I'll keep, if you even consider it as social media, would be YouTube, because I actually do use that productively every now and again. I do also use it unproductively. I do binge a lot, but on my commutes to work, I cycle to work and back, I usually have something on YouTube if I don't listen to music, and it will usually be something educational or productive. But that begs the question. By doing that, I'm going to free up a metric shit ton of free time, and my brain is going to absolutely hate it, especially at work. At work, I scroll for basically the entirety of my shift, so I'll need to replace this with productive things like reading books on the Kindle app, or language learning as well, which I've been putting off for quite a while now. I think that's going to be the hardest part for me, because I've felt that resistance before. I've felt what it's like to read instead of go scrolling on Instagram, and your brain just starts screaming from these dopaminergic activities. It really does. But I just need to remember that I'm confident that when I push through it into the light on the other side, my brain will thank me for it in the long run. And I'll thank myself for it as well. Even if my brain in the short term doesn't understand, consciously I know in the long run it's the best thing to do. So I'm just going to have to ignore it and keep pushing. The last bad habit I'll be hanging up, which I've been doing for the last 3 or 4 years or so, which also might be quite hard, is vaping. Yes, a big old vapor, addicted to this little plastic vaporizer. But from some stroke of good luck, I suppose, I've actually started to dislike it in the last few months. I don't know why. I vape, and like the first vape of the day, I'm usually not really looking forward to it. It makes my head foggy. Sometimes it makes me feel sick. Like, I've been wanting to quit for a while now, but I mean, you guys know what nicotine is. It's addictive, right? And despite all that, I've been using it every day. So it's actually quite similar to a bad habit that I dropped a few years ago, around the same time. Actually, no, it was like 3 years ago or so is when I started vaping, and that's because I quit smoking weed religiously every morning. Not morning, sorry, every evening. I would smoke every single evening. I was spending hundreds of pounds a month on weed because it was just so ingrained in my routine for literally a good 7 years or so. 7 years straight, I was just smoking nearly every night with some breaks in between. But the funny thing is, in the last few years of that cycle, I literally didn't even enjoy it anymore. I was just smoking because I was a smoker. It was just part of my routine. When I smoked, I would get like anxious and I would like hate how I felt every time, and yet I persisted to do it regardless. It was very strange. Dropping that was one of the best decisions I made, both financially and mentally. It was almost like a weird reward to get hundreds of pounds a month for stopping a bad habit, but I suppose it certainly helped. And I have no doubt in my mind that I think this will be a similar experience. While it's not as much money, these disposable vapes still cost money, right? So I might save another 50, 60 quid a month, which is quite nice. And while it wasn't in my list of things for the criteria, another thing I should mention is that I'm going to be severely limiting my alcohol consumption for this year. I'm not cutting it out entirely. Look, being English, we love a drink, right? And there's going to be a few occasions this year where I know I'm going to want to drink. But I might set like a little sub goal, not a serious one, but just to try and drink in the single digits for this year, right? I'm basically trying to get as little foreign chemicals in my body as humanly possible, just to try and be basically teetotal and clear-headed. So another thing I nearly forgot to mention actually is this channel right here. If I can hit 100 uploads before going on holiday, then I think I'd be seriously proud of myself. Now, the only issue is I can't promise myself that, because if I don't have anything I want to talk about on a certain day, which I would be surprised if I didn't, but if I didn't, I wouldn't want to force like a low quality 3-minute upload just to keep my streak going. This isn't about streaks or like anything like that. It's not about metrics and numbers. I'm just uploading here because I have stuff to talk about, It's stuff that I want to remind myself about and hold myself accountable, right? It's like every single one of these videos I post is a reminder to my future self, or something I wish my past self knew previously. Funnily enough, this is actually the fourth script I have recorded for the channel. I wouldn't really call it a script, more like a journal entry, I suppose, because that's effectively what these videos are, just journal entries. And this is like the fourth one I recorded, that I haven't uploaded yet, simply because I have no fucking Halo gameplay. I literally haven't been playing Halo since like before Christmas. I haven't played in like 2-3 weeks, so I've got nothing to put in the background. I haven't played any games in so long. I can't just upload a black screen, can I? So I have all these recordings here, and I just need to get some fucking gameplay for it. Luckily, tomorrow I do have time off work, so tomorrow is gonna be day one of this routine. So tomorrow, once I get my shit done, go to the gym, grind, morning routine, everything. Once everything's out of the way, I've got the rest of the day to just grind out some Halo, have a bit of fun, relax. I'm not looking for like some 20 kill bomb games. I'm just looking for a bit of background. So bear this in mind, the gameplay is probably going to be shoddy. I'm no pro by any means. I'm a retired old fucking man, mate, alright? It's going to be a bit rough, but still. Anyway, let's get back to the point. I kind of went off on a tangent there. I just want to make it clear. These aren't laws. I know a lot of people say that when you do this kind of stuff, you need to lock in super seriously and take it to the point where your life depends on it, and like people are gonna die if you don't do it. You gotta have the discipline to get it done. I'm not really doing that, bro. Like, I might relapse, sure. Every now and again, I might catch myself scrolling YouTube, might watch a bit of naughty content. I don't know, man. Maybe I even skip a workout or stay up too late one night. The important thing is, I try to follow it consciously every single day. And every week, I perform better than the last week. I make progress towards these goals every day. Because if we're realistic here, this routine is something I want to live for the rest of my life, right? These habits I want ingrained into my head permanently. So how could I possibly expect to go from a borderline total brain rot degenerate to this perfect pinnacle version of myself overnight? I just don't think that's practical, and I think that's only going to lead to like negative reactions when inevitably I fail, because it will happen. But it's not about failing or succeeding, it's just about progressing. That's literally all I care about, just making a bit more progress every day. I think that's something that everyone could benefit from, especially in this day and age. So, before going to work today, I will be deleting Instagram and Reddit. I'm literally going to do it as soon as I'm done recording this, to be honest with you. And I'll be honest, I don't really want to. I can already see myself getting so bored at work and not having any brain rot to watch or anything to scroll. And I know it's going to be rough. It really will be. But at the same time, I know deep down this will be basically a life-changing decision. I know it doesn't sound that serious, but it really is. It's like the butterfly effect. Like small changes which seem insignificant, can easily multiply and explode into your life exponentially. So I can't wait to see the effects that these changes are going to have on my life. The best part is I'm no longer thinking about the future or being stuck in the past. I'm not thinking, oh, I need to go to the gym and work out because I want to look jacked. That was my previous motivation for when I went to the gym. Because I know that's just not going to work for me. I'm just going to work out because I know it's good for me. In the present moment, I'm meditating because it's good for me. I'm removing Instagram, removing Google, removing Reddit because I know it's good for me. That's the only reason I'm doing it. And I'm going to let life show me the results as opposed to striving for something that doesn't exist in the future. This is going to bring my baseline dopamine down every day to a level that will keep me happy with less stimulation, because that's effectively how dopamine works. And I'm so grateful there's so many good studies and research done online by professionals. You've got Dr. K out there, so many other ones like Andrew Huberman, who are all just releasing this content out there just so everybody can study it and realize the habits that they need to implement to make their life better. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think I ever could have come to this conclusion on my own. I'm no professional, but I'm very glad they exist for that exact reason. So I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but tomorrow will be day one. And you might be asking, well, why don't you just start today, bro? And I kind of did. Today's a head start day. I followed the morning routine. I woke up, brushed my teeth, walked, meditate, prayer, and all that. But instead of getting work done, I watched some educational content. It was kind of like semi-procrastination. And I also didn't work out today, so I can't truly count this day as day one. But hey, I wrote this journal entry and I recorded it, so I still got something done. I got the morning routine done. I'm happy. I'm happy with that. Now, I say this at the end of every video, it feels like, but I'm going to keep saying it because I think it's important to me. If any of this resonated with you, please pick something to incorporate or remove from your own life, something that you know you need to do. Join the journey, walk with me, and maybe even let me know down below what you're trying to achieve as well. And I'm not just doing this for engagement farming. I literally couldn't care less. Like I said, this is not a metrics game. Don't like the video, any of that nonsense. Don't even comment either if you don't want to. I'm just curious to know what other people are feeling as well, right? The main thing is, pick something now that you know will improve your life and stick at it with me. This has been your boy, Big Ol' Fucking Jimbo. I'm very excited for the future. I'm very excited for this year. Once again, peace out.